So we will now hear from Melissa Odegaard. She leads the management, or she's the marketing director of S2 Global, and Melissa leads the management of the company's global marketing initiatives. And she works with cross-functional teams to produce high-quality marketing programs to communicate the company's vision. Melissa is graduated with honors from the Pratt Institute of Design in New York, and she will present their security integration platform, CertScan, and she tell us also about how it was relatively easy to add health screening capabilities, including an elevated body temperature detection solution, which was widely used throughout North America and the Caribbean, allowing for the continuation of activities during this pandemic crisis. So the floor is for Melissa Odegaard, please.
Good day, everybody. I'm really excited to be here today, talking to you and being with these distinguished colleagues. A number of people who spoke before me were discussing different types of technologies that they implemented either during the pandemic or would like to be able to implement during a time of crises. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is the way that we handle it and what we have done during the pandemic and ways that you can start thinking about it to be able to quickly deploy technology into your inspection operation. Okay, so where are we today? There were a number of reactions to the COVID-19 pandemic, and I say that meaning they were reactions. It was fast coming, and we all had to think rather quickly, so we immediately closed down. We provided PPE, and we all started to add technology. And I was thinking today, like, how far have we gone? Like, where have we done a good job? Well, I think a lot of us can provide PPE, and that's probably the easiest, quickest way that we can protect our people during this time so that they can continue to do work. The next thing we have to do is figure out how to add technology faster. And what are our issues that we have? Some of the issues that we have are that we've got a lot of systems operating by themselves. They're in silos. We have a lot of data. We have a lot of databases. We have people who may be not trained or thinking about how these things can work together. So they're not able to make high quality, high information decisions. They have maybe limited database resources. And then we have a lot of pieces of equipment that have their own, silos of data with manual controls. It's difficult to share information from there, and continuously adding them just adds on your cost, which is not really what we're looking to do. We're looking to save money, or at least find a way to generate some revenue, with what we do. So even before the pandemic, change was already here. We have new generations coming up in our industry, in our organizations, in our agencies. They're young, they know technology, they've always used it, so they're highly aware of what kind of technology is out there. They're starting to rethink outdated norms. They want everything at their fingertips, right? Ready to go, and it should be available. And I think one of the most important things is that there's an expectation of easy accessibility of information. Like you should be able to see what's going on right from an easy to use interface. You should be able to record it, measure it, make improvements on it. And a really big thing is you should be able to share that information with other people. So how do you actually get to the next step? I'm just going to talk a little bit about things you can start thinking of to help you organize, having a digital transformation that's successful. And I think the first thing we can do when we speak to people who are purchasing the actual hardware and equipment and working with databases such as Asikuda or any of the other logistics databases out there, is you really just have to kind of take a look at the landscape of what you have and take an inventory of your technology. You know, what is in your communication systems? What's in your logistics? You know, what is your single window system doing? And to do all this inventory, you really need to start engaging, you know, other stakeholders. We've been working a lot with the IT departments at organizations because, you know, they're a huge part of this digital transformation, and bringing the IT department, the inspection department, all the different departments together is key to success. So what do you want to do next? You really want to think about, like, what is your purpose? Like, yes, as a customs organization, you need to, you know, be able to process all the paperwork that's coming in. But in the end, you know, you're really working for people and trade and companies that are crossing borders. You're trying to facilitate, you know, a seamless experience for them so that they can get in and out of the country or ship things in and out of the country very fast. You definitely want a safe environment for your own staff, and you want to be able to deploy the right technology at the right time in order to meet your first and second mandates. So start with the end in mind. What are you actually trying to accomplish by integrating new technology very easily? The first thing, or the second thing you want to do after you know, take an inventory of, like, what are all the systems that you're looking at, is you want to start collaborating with your stakeholders. One of the most powerful things that we're coming up against in digital transformation is the ability to actually share information with you know, peripheral stakeholders that also are able to use the information we might have to make their work easier and better and faster and more comprehensive. So start to collaborate with your stakeholders in the different businesses, including industry, including trade, including the, you know, trucking companies, even your own internal government organizations, so that with your inventory and with their buy-in, you're all starting to work on the same page and looking at how, you know, integrating all these systems will help your country. Okay. And then the other thing you want to take a look at is, like, who are the people within your organization that are doing the work and what do they need to accomplish? So you want to look at it from a human-centric point of view and come up with different ways that you can help people do their job quickly, leverage the automation, leverage the data that you're capturing, and really give each role only what they need to see so that they can perform their duties and their job quickly and seamlessly. And then you want to be able to, you know, have a system where your supervisors and your stakeholders can actually see the entire operation from one view. So not only do you have, you know, a human-based process where each stakeholder is getting what they need at the exact time they need it with the equipment that they have, but then you want your supervisors to be able to watch that process live and in real time. Okay. So in the end, when you actually look at those things, you're starting to develop and deploy a system that works for everybody. And when you do that, you get a new integration that has improvements, you know, and it's constant. You're making improvements, you're training your people, you're using information to make decisions. The actions become automated. You're able to manage the whole operation from one interface. And again, you loop around, and from that management, you're able to make improvements. So the data is driving your intelligence, it's driving your operations, and it's really making a seamless experience for the people who need to enter using your systems. Okay. So with everything right at your fingertips, you can communicate with your stakeholders, adjust your logistics, you can train and relocate staff quickly, you can change your traffic routing, you can add technology rapidly, you can increase capacity easily, you can activate health information systems very fast, and continue revenue collection. And this is really important when we come up against things like a pandemic, where you have to be able to deploy, new technology, elevated body temperature detection systems, whether on a mass scale, on an individual scale. Those systems have to comply with, complicated health requirements and privacy information. So, being able to deploy that into your process that you have very quickly is key to thinking about how you're going to put your integration system together. Okay. So I just wanted to ask, you to think about, like, what could you do if you had your hardware systems, your inspection systems, your custom systems, your immigration systems, all of that information working in sync. And I wanted to leave you with that thought for you to think about for the rest of the conference. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Melissa, for that. And yeah, I like to see developments also on the industry side where we come to a higher degree of integration of different systems and parts of systems, standalone equipment, and make these things talk to each other, communicate to each other, and help our officers to support in their decision making. As a matter of time, because these are all topics which we could speak an entire conference about it, we will move to our next speaker.